So today we will discuss about capacitance. So capacitance, it is the property of a conductor or conducting material to store some charge. So in other way we can define as each and every conductor has this ability to store the charge. This ability of the conductor to store the charge is called as its capacity to store the charge, or simply capacitance of that conductor, right? And that conductor, it can be given the name a capacitor. In the coming time we will discuss the capacitor in more precise way. So as for the definition of capacitance, what is it? It is simply the ability of a conductor to store some electric charge, right? So capacitance is nothing but ability of a conductor to store electric charge. Right? So the ability of a conductor to store some electric charge is given the name capacitance. Right? Each and every conductor has the ability to store the charge. This ability of the conductor depends upon different factors to store the charge, right? We will discuss them a bit later. So for the simplicity, let us take that there is some conductor of any shape, and it is given some charge Q. It is given some electric charge Q. Now Q charge is stored over the conductor. Now it's because it is holding some charge Q, so therefore its potential is something which has been increased, so its potential becomes V, for example. If we increase the charge, electric charge given to the conductor, the potential on the conductor will also increase because it is holding more amount of charge. So that means there is direct proportionality between Q and V. More charge is given to conductor, more the potential of the conductor to which it is raised. Okay, so means the potential, this charge is directly proportional to the potential of the conductor. Charge stored on the conductor is directly proportional to the potential to which it is raised, right? So from here we come across this equality that Q is equal to C into V, where this C, it is nothing but the constant for the conductor. This is the constant for the conductor, and the value of this constant of the conductor depends upon the property of the conductor, and this constant, it is called as the capacitance actually of the conductor, right? So C is nothing but the constant value for the conductor, and it is simply called as capacitance of the conductor. It has constant value for the given conductor, right? The value of C depends upon the size and shape of the conductor. It does not depend upon the material of which conductor is made. It may be of any kind of material. So the capacitance, which is a constant for a given conductor to store the charge, it is called as capacitance, and this capacitance or this constant simply depends upon the size and shape of the conductor, and it also depends upon the medium in which this conductor is placed. It may be placed in air or free space, it may be placed in any other dielectric medium. So that presence of medium around this conductor also will affect the capacitance of the capacitor, means ability to store the charge, right? So from here we can find C. So from here C comes out to be Q upon V. So from this equation we can simply define what is capacitance in more precise way, right? So from here the capacitance of a conductor is defined as the ratio of the charge it stores per unit the potential to which it is raised on storing this charge. This potential is due to this charge. Remember, we are giving the charge and potential of the conductor is also increasing. So therefore capacitance is nothing but the charge stored on the capacitor per unit the potential of the conductor, right? So this is the capacitance. So we can simply write it as charge stored on conductor. However, in coming time when we introduce the capacitor, we will use the word capacitor in place of conductor, because capacitance of conductor is not of any practical use. It is the capacitance of capacitor which will be introduced. That is the point of interest here. Okay, so the capacitance is nothing but the charge stored on the conductor per unit its electric potential of the conductor to which it is raised. So this is the simple definition of capacitance and what we understand from the question. And we already see that there are the factors just like capacitance depends upon number one, size of the conductor, or we can say capacitor. Number two, it depends upon the shape of what shape the conductor is, and it also depends upon the medium, the dielectric medium the conductor is lying in, right? So these are the factors on which capacitance of any capacitor, or we can say conductor, depends. From here we can also write the units for capacitance to be, it is coulomb per volt. So it is the unit of capacitance, but commonly it is given the name farad. Farad are the units given to the capacitance, or it can also be said to be coulomb per volt. Actually, farad is a very large unit of the capacitance. So for practical purpose, either millifarad or microfarad are used for the practical purpose. So this is some basic introduction of the capacitance. We can now discuss the capacitance of a spherical conductor for the first case. Let us take that. So suppose that we have a metallic spherical conductor having some charge Q. So here is a metallic spherical conductor having radius R and charge Q, which is stored in the conductor. So we are giving it some charge Q, so therefore its potential is V, right? We have to find out the capacitance of this spherical metallic conductor which is holding some charge Q, and the radius of this spherical conductor is R, right? So at any point on the surface of this conductor, the electric potential, we can say it is to be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into Q upon R. At any point on the surface or on the outside this spherical conductor, on the surface or outside this conductor, the electric potential is, or we can say this spherical conductor behaves just like a point charge, right? It gives the same formula as it is given by the point charge which is placed at the center O. So therefore spherical conductor behaves as a point charge if we are calculating the electric field at the surface or at any point outside the spherical conductor. So therefore its electric potential at the surface of this spherical conductor is given by this formula, as we know already, right? So from here we can calculate Q upon V, which is actually the capacitance. So Q upon V we have to find out here, so which actually means the capacitance. This is equal to, from here Q upon V, so we take V to the right side, it becomes Q upon V, and this 4 pi epsilon naught goes, epsilon naught R goes to the other side, so it becomes 4 pi epsilon naught R. So that means capacitance of a spherical conductor comes out to be 4 pi epsilon naught R. So this is the formula to find out the capacitance of a spherical, any spherical capacitance, or we can say conductor. We simply need to know the radius of that spherical conductor, right, and the medium in which it is placed. We can also calculate by using this formula the capacitance of earth. So for earth, capacitance is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught into R, means radius of the earth, which is 6.4 into 10 to the power 6. So value of 4 pi epsilon naught, we can substitute it to be 1 upon 9 into 10 to the power 9 into 6.4 into 10 to the power 6. So whenever we make calculation, we come across this value of 711 microfarad. So we can see earth being very large conductor has this much value of capacitance. So that means capacitance of 1 farad is a very large unit of capacitance. So this is the simple understanding of capacitance of a spherical conductor. Okay, let us try to understand now the proper definition or proper meaning of a capacitor. Suppose that we have two plates, or we can say one plate here, which is A. So it is given some positive charge. So positive charge lies all over the plate on both of its sides. We are trying to understand the capacitor and its principle in a more precise way. So we have some metallic plate of some finite thickness. It is given some positive charge, right? So that means this is the charge which is given to the plate. It is holding this charge. So with that, we can say that it has some capacitance of it, due to which it is holding some charge Q, for example. Now we bring identical plate. Identical means which is equal in all respects, all properties, all dimensions, all shapes and all sizes. So I am bringing another plate B, identical plate, which is electrically neutral. First place is given the charge, second identical plate is not given any charge, and second plate is brought close to plate A but not made in contact. What will happen? Induction process, the electric induction. Due to electrical induction, due to this positive charge of first plate, it will attract the negative charges of the second plate. So therefore there is deposition of negative charges on the face of the plate B, which is close to plate A, and it will repel the positive charges of plate B away. So there will be positive charge on the opposite face of plate B. So we can say the positive charges are away from plate A of plate B. The positive charge of plate B are away from plate A, and negative charge of plate B are close to plate A, comparatively close, right? So due to this, because the first place was charged, it has been raised to some potential B. Now a neutral identical plate is brought close to the first plate, due to which electrical induction happens, and a negative charge develops on the face close to the plate A, and a positive charge on the face which is further from plate A. So now this potential, due to this negative charge on this closer face of plate B, this will try to neutralize the effect of this positive charge of the first plate A, due to which its potential will decrease by some amount. And due to the positive charge, potential will increase. So this negative charge will decrease the potential, and this positive charge on B, it will increase the potential, right? But because positive charge, it is lying at further distance than the negative charge, so therefore there is net increase in the net decrease in the potential of the plate A. So there will be some net decrease in the potential of plate A. So that means plate A can be given some additional charge in order to make its potential again V. Right? Let us try to recall it once again. What is happening? There is some charge plate A, given some positive charge, so that its potential is raised to V volts. We are bringing another identical neutral plate close to plate A, and on doing that, what is happening? Due to induction process, electrical induction of positive charge, the negative charge appear on this face which is close to plate A, and positive charge appear on the opposite face, because positive charge is repelled by this positive and negative charge is attracted by this positive of the plate A. Now this negative charge on plate B is closer than the positive charge on plate A to plate A. Right? Due to this, there will be decrease in potential due to negative charge, and some increase in potential of plate A due to positive charge. But because negative charge is close, so therefore net potential change in potential is decreasing. Right? So there will be net decrease in potential due to the negative charge of plate B that appears on plate B. So from here we see that we can make its potential again to same value by giving plate A some additional charge. So that means the ability of plate A has increased. It can now store in it, or we can say plate A can take more charge from the source in order to make its potential again V volts. So by bringing identical plate close to plate A, we are increasing its potential. So this makes the very basic principle of the a capacitor. This system of two identical plates placed at a finite distance close to each other is called as a capacitor. Because by bringing identical plate means we are using two plates instead of one, we are increasing the capacity of the device, plate A. So as a whole, this system of two conductors or two conducting plates is called as a capacitor. Right? These plates may be spherical, these plates may be parallel, these plates may be cylindrical. There are different kinds of capacitors depending upon what shape of the plates we are using. A parallel plate capacitor is the most common capacitor which is used. We can increase the capacitance of plate A even higher. How we can do that? We connect the positive side of the plate B to the earth. So we are simply earthing the positive side of plate B, due to which all positive charge that appear on face B, it goes to the earth. Right? And negative charge, it does not move to the earth because it is attracted by the positive charge of plate A. So because there is no potential which can increase, there is no charge now on plate B which can increase the potential of plate A. So net change in potential is even more decrease in potential of plate A due to this only the negative charge. So means by earthing, the potential of plate A is even further reduced, because all positive charge which was supporting the potential of plate A, it is now taken by the earth. So only the change in potential of plate A is now decreasing. Right? So the potential of plate A is decreased by large amount. So that means to make its potential again to the same value V, we can give a large amount of charge to the plate A. So overall, the capacity of the conductor, or we can say plate A, has increased by bringing identical neutral plate which is earthed. So that its capacitance is increased by a large amount. So that's why while we are discussing about capacitance, we are always making use of two conductors, right? So each and every kind of a capacitor always has two identical conductors placed close to each other. These conductors may be in the form of parallel plates, in the form of two concentric spherical spheres, or it may be in the form of coaxial cylinders, right? So this is what is happening, and this makes the principle of a capacitor. So a capacitor It is a system of two identical conductors placed close to each other, of which one is earthed. Of the two identical conductors, one is earthed. So that system is called as a, arrangement is called as a capacitor. And what is the principle of the capacitor? So what is the principle of capacitor? Whenever we bring an identical conductor to a given conductor, right? So whenever we bring an identical earthed conductor to a given conductor, the capacity of the system increases, right? So this makes the principle of a capacitor. So this is about the capacitance and capacitor. We can here derive the expression or find the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. So for doing that, we simply take one capacitor. Suppose that one capacitor which is parallel plate capacitor, so that there is some positive charge Q on plate A and equal amount of negative charge on plate B. So both have the same potential, plus V and minus V. And these two plates of same dimensions and shape, because the plates are to be identical. So both are having area A and both are having area A, and both are separated at a distance d from each other. We are keeping the two plates close enough so that there is no we can say loss of electric field lines. Okay, so from here we can write the expression for the electric field, which is uniform. So whenever there is some Q charge on plate A and equal amount of negative charge on plate B at some distance, there is some electric field which is set up between in the region between the plates. So the electric field set between the plates is, for example, it is V, right? This electric field is uniform because we are taking the same charges and we are calculating the electric capacitance at that situation. So electric field, it can be written as dV upon dr for a parallel plate capacitor. So it is nothing but the potential gradient. Means these two plates are placed at a potential difference of dV and separation between them is d, right? From here, because electric field is uniform, so simply it can be written as V upon d. For uniform electric field, this expression simply becomes V upon d, the potential to which each plate is raised and the separation between the plates. So from here, this V, it is simply is equal to, we can take d to the other side, so it becomes E into d. And whenever we talk about the electric field due to charged plates, so that in that case electric field is simply given by sigma upon epsilon naught. So at any point between the plates, electric field is given by sigma upon epsilon naught. Right? What is sigma? It is the surface charge density of the plates. That simply is equal to charge which is stored by the plates per unit the area of the plate into epsilon naught as we have. So this is the electric field. We are going to use this value of electric field here. So therefore equation 1 takes the form V is equal to E, which is Q upon epsilon naught A into D, right? So from here we can simply calculate Q upon V. So from here V goes to the other side and all other terms come to the other side, right? So from here Q upon V, from this expression Q upon V, it can be simply found to be epsilon naught A, it goes to the other side and D comes in the denominator. So this is the ratio of Q upon V, which is nothing but the capacitance of this parallel plate capacitor. So it is epsilon naught A upon D. So from this we can clearly understand that the capacitance of any capacitor, for example parallel plate capacitor as we are discussing here, it simply depends upon the size and shape of the capacitor plates. Area, which gives the dimension, and D, the separation between the plates, and the permittivity of the medium in which is lying between the plates of the capacitor. For the simplicity, we have taken that it is air or free space which is between the two plates. So therefore we are using the permittivity of the air, epsilon naught. What if we are using a medium other than the air? For example, we are using some dielectric medium which is completely filling the space between the two plates. So whenever we have dielectric between plates of dielectric constant K, for example, which has some dielectric constant K. So we know that its electric field now can be written as, if there is some dielectric medium between the plates, electric field can be written as simply sigma upon epsilon naught into K. So from there each and every step will remain same, and final expression for the capacitance simply reduces to epsilon naught into K into A upon D, or simply K times epsilon naught A upon D. So this is the new capacitance. I am indicating it with C dash. So this is with the air and this is with some dielectric constant K. So from here we understand that capacitance of a capacitor is even further increased. This K is nothing but electric field which is applied divided by reduced value of electric field. So value of K, it is always more than 1. So if value is always more than 1, so that means new value of capacitance, it will be more than what was the capacitance before. So that simply gives us that whenever we place a dielectric medium between the plates of the capacitor, its capacitance increases. So its new capacitance is nothing but K times the earlier capacitance. So this C dash, it is always more than C. So this is about the basic understanding of capacitance. So capacitance of a spherical conductor. So what is a capacitor, what is the principle of a capacitor, and what is the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. So this is all for now. On the next class we will take on the spherical and cylindrical capacitors. Thank you.